My daughter, please, I'm so thirsty. Just one cup of water.
Emily was filling her pot at the river when an old woman appeared from the bushes begging, "My daughter, please, I'm so thirsty." Just one cup of water. Emily poured her last drinking water into a cup and handed it to the woman. The old woman drank, smiled, and vanished into thin air right before Emily's eyes. The water Emily poured for the old woman turned into diamonds that filled her calabash. But when her stepmother tried the same thing, the goddess smiled and whispered, "Your heart is already stone. Let your body match it." In Umuahia village, where red earth met green palms, Emily woke to her stepmother's voice cutting through dawn like a machete. "Useless girl, the sun is up and you still sleep. Oya, get up and fetch water. 20 trips today." Beatrice, her stepmother, stood over Emily's mat in the boys' quarters, where the girl slept among stored yams and old cooking pots. Ever since Emily's mother died 3 years ago, this had been her kingdom, a corner that smelled of earth and loneliness. "Yes, Ma." Emily rose, her 14-year-old body already aching from yesterday's work. Her father, Chief Okafor, travelled for business constantly. He never saw how his new wife treated his daughter. "And after water, you'll wash all the clothes, cook for the whole compound, and weed the entire garden." Beatrice examined her own manicured nails, the gold on her fingers catching morning light. "My own daughters are not slaves like you. They must rest for their beauty." Ah, the way this woman talked, as if her own daughters, Adana and Chisom, were not eating the food Emily cooked, wearing the clothes Emily washed. But Emily kept quiet. Silence was her shield. She gathered her clay pots and headed toward Mirinkwo, the sacred river. The path wound through the village, and she walked it like a ghost. Other girls her age giggled at the market, but Emily? She carried water while others carried dreams. See our Cinderella?" Mama Nkechi called from her stall, her voice mixing pity with gossip hunger. "Nay, that woman is working you like donkey-o." Emily managed a small smile. "I'm fine, Ma." "Fine? You're fine? Tufiakwa. Look at you, thin like broomstick, your wrapper torn, your hair like bird nest. And that, Beatrice's daughters, shine like Christmas lights, while you fade like old cloth." Mama Nkechi shook her head. "Your late mother must be crying in heaven. Please, Ma, I must go." "The water." Emily's voice cracked slightly. Mama Nkechi softened. "Go, my daughter, but remember God Day. He sees everything." At the river, Emily set down her pots. The water flowed silver and cool, whispering secrets to the stones. She loved this place here. She could breathe. Here, Beatrice's voice couldn't reach. She began to fill the first pot, watching her reflection ripple and break in the current. The reflection showed a girl with kind eyes and a tired face, a girl who still believed that somehow, somewhere, life held something more than carrying water for people who despised her. She didn't know that today the river would answer her unspoken prayer. She didn't know that an old woman was already watching from beneath the ukwa tree, waiting to test whether Emily's heart was as pure as the water she came to fetch. The goddess had arrived in Umuahia, and everything was about to change. Emily had just lifted her second pot when she heard it, a voice like wind through ancient leaves. "Nay, my daughter, can you spare water for an old woman?" She turned. Beneath the ukwa tree stood a woman so elderly she seemed woven from time itself. Her wrapper was faded, her back bent, her eyes cloudy with age. She held an empty calabash with trembling hands. "Ah, Mama, yes, yes." Emily immediately set down her pot and approached. "Please, sit, rest. I'll bring you water." Most girls would have hesitated this meant another trip down the steep bank. But Emily rushed to help, her own thirst forgotten. She filled the woman's calabash with the coolest, clearest water, then supported the old woman's shaking hands as she drank. "Nah, thank you. You have a kind heart." The old woman's voice changed subtly, growing stronger. "Tell me, why does a child so young look so burdened?" Emily smiled sadly. "It's nothing, Ma. Just my stepmother works me hard. But it's okay. I'm grateful for life." "Grateful? Even when treated cruelly?" "My mother taught me that bitterness is heavier than any water pot. She said to stay kind even when others are wicked, that kindness is its own reward." Emily's eyes glistened. "Though sometimes, Ma, I wonder if she was wrong. Sometimes I wonder if kindness just makes me a fool." The old woman studied her with eyes that suddenly didn't seem cloudy at all. "Help me home, child. I live just beyond those bushes. But my water, Beatrice, will beat me if I'm late. Please, I'm too weak to walk alone." "In May?" Emily looked at the sun climbing higher, calculating the punishment awaiting her. Then she looked at the old woman's frail form. "Of course, Ma. Hold my arm." She guided the woman slowly through the bush path. It took 20 minutes of wrath she'd face later, but she couldn't leave an elder struggling. When they reached a small clearing, the old woman turned, and suddenly she wasn't old anymore. The transformation happened like sunrise, gradual yet total. The bent back straightened, the cloudy eyes blazed with light, the faded wrapper shimmered into cloth of woven starlight. Before Emily stood a goddess, tall and magnificent, with power rolling off her like thunder. Emily fell to her knees. "Chiamaka!" "I am Uhamiri," the goddess said, her voice now cosmic, deep, eternal. "Goddess of these waters, keeper of justice. I walk the earth testing hearts. Many pass this river. Do you know how many help me? None. They see a poor old woman and suddenly they're late, they're tired, they're busy. Ma, goddess, I didn't. But you stopped, even knowing you'd be punished, even carrying your own heavy burdens. Your kindness flows from genuine springs, child." Uhamiri's smile could have lit the village. True kindness expects no reward, but today it receives one anyway. She placed her hands on Emily's head. Power surged through the girl like lightning made of light. "From this moment, every time you fetch water from my river, it will transform. The liquid will become precious stones, diamonds, rubies, emeralds. Your beauty will bloom like udara in season. Grace will follow your footsteps. And very soon, royalty itself will seek your hand." Emily gasped, tears streaming. "Why me?" "Because, my daughter, the universe rewards the pure in heart. Now go, fetch your water and watch." Emily ran back to the river, her heart hammering like talking drums. Did that really happen? Or had the sun cooked her brain? She dipped her pot into the water. The liquid entered clear, ordinary. She lifted the pot and nearly dropped it. The water was transforming, sparkling, solidifying. Before her shocked eyes, the contents shifted from liquid to crystal, from crystal to perfect, gleaming diamonds that filled her pot with click, 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 sounds like expensive laughter. "Chineke-mi," Emily breathed. She touched one, real, solid. Cold and hard and absolutely impossible. She looked at her reflection in the river and screamed. Her face, her ordinary, tired face, had transformed. Her skin glowed like honey in sunlight. Her eyes sparkled brighter than the gems. Her hair, previously rough and neglected, now fell in glossy waves. Even her torn wrapper seemed to drape with sudden elegance. "Kai, this one don't pass ordinary," she whispered. The walk home took forever, and no time at all. Villagers stopped mid-sentence. Maman Kechi's jaw literally dropped. "Emily? Emily? Wedding happen. You fall inside blessing well? At the compound, Beatrice was pacing, rage ready. So you think you can waste my entire morning? She turned. The words died. Her stepdaughters, Adanna and Chisom, emerged from the main house. They froze. Their precious looks, carefully maintained with creams and pomades, suddenly seemed ordinary next to Emily's radiance. What did you do to yourself? Beatrice whispered, something like fear creeping into her greed-sharpened eyes. Emily said nothing. She simply poured the pot's contents into the storage drum. Diamonds, rubies, emeralds. They cascaded like rainfall made of fortune, clattering into the drum with sounds that made Beatrice's eyes bulge like overripe udara. Where, how, who, Beatrice couldn't form sentences. Words spread faster than ground nut oil on hot pan. By afternoon, the compound was crowded. Chiefs came, elders came, and somehow news reached beyond Umuaya, travelling on gossip wings to the neighbouring kingdom. Prince Chiamaka, returning from hunting, heard his servants whispering. They say there's a girl in Umuaya who produces diamonds from water and shines like the moon. Probably village exaggeration, he laughed. But my lord, 20 people have confirmed it. They say her beauty can make a blind man see. The prince was 25, educated abroad, but rooted in tradition. He'd rejected every bride, his parents suggested. Fine. Tomorrow, we investigate this miracle girl. Meanwhile, in Chief Okafor's compound, Beatrice's mind churned like stormy rivers. The shock had worn off. Now came the question, how? Emily, she called with fake sweetness that fooled nobody. My dear daughter, tell Mama, where did this blessing come from? Emily, remembering her mother's lessons, answered truthfully, at the river, Ma. An old woman asked for water. I helped her. She was a goddess. Beatrice's eyes lit with a dangerous fire of greed meeting opportunity. A goddess. At Miri Nkwo, an old woman. She smiled, but it was a cobra's smile. How wonderful, how truly wonderful. That night, while Emily slept peacefully for the first time in years, Beatrice planned her dawn visit to the river. She never imagined that the same goddess who rewards kindness also punishes wickedness, and punishes it spectacularly. Beatrice woke at 4 a.m. before even the roosters cleared their throats. She dressed in her finest wrapper, the expensive ankara she'd bought with Chief Okafor's money, and lined her eyes with uli. If a goddess was blessing people, she wanted to look impressive. This foolish Emily got diamonds from helping an old woman. Achoo! I'll help that old woman so well, she'll make me the richest woman in Igbo land. She grabbed the finest calabash, pure white, imported, and hurried toward Mirinkwo. The river looked different in pre-dawn darkness, mysterious and alive. Beatrice didn't care. She only saw future wealth. She began filling her calabash, muttering calculations. With diamonds, I'll build a mansion in Lagos. I'll buy cars. I'll make sure everyone knows that Beatrice Okafor is not ordinary person. Oh! Nay, came a voice. Can you spare water for an old woman? Beatrice spun around. There she was, bent, elderly, trembling, holding an empty bowl. Perfect! Beatrice's heart sang with greedy joy. She schooled her face into concern. Ah, Mama, yes, yes. Water? Of course. She scooped water carelessly, splashing half of it, thrusting the bowl at the old woman like serving a beggar. The goddess drank slowly, watching. Thank you, daughter. Can you help me home? I'm too weak. Eh? Help you home? Mama, I'm very busy, oh. I have important things. I mean, my husband is chief, you know. I have responsibilities. Surely you can manage small walk? Beatrice's impatience leaked through her fake smile like water through cracked pot. just a short distance. Look, I helped you already. I gave you water, didn't I? Free water from my own calabash. You people can never be satisfied, always wanting more, more, more. Beatrice's true nature emerged like rot beneath perfume. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have blessings to collect. The old woman straightened, slowly, deliberately. Blessings? Her voice changed, deepened, filled the clearing like thunder fills sky. You seek blessings? Beatrice's eyes widened as the transformation occurred. The bent elder became a towering goddess, power crackling around her like dry season lightning. I am Uhamiri, the goddess declared, and you, Beatrice Okafor, have revealed your heart. Where Emily showed kindness, expecting nothing, you showed calculation, expecting everything. Where she gave time she didn't have, you counted seconds you wasted. Where she saw a person needing help, you saw an obstacle to your greed. Wait, I can explain. I didn't mean. Beatrice stumbled backward. You meant every word. Your heart is stone, woman. Hard, cold, dead to compassion. You've beaten a motherless child, starved her while your own daughters feasted, worked her like an animal while teaching your children cruelty. The goddess's eyes blazed. You seek blessings? Let me bless you appropriately. No, please, I'll change. I'll be kind. Too late for promises. Your actions speak louder than your panic. Uhamiri raised her hand. The curse hit Beatrice like a wave. Beatrice felt it starting in her feet, a coldness spreading upward like water freezing in Harmattan. She looked down and screamed. Her legs were hardening, darkening, becoming granite. No, stop, I'm sorry. Emily! Her voice grew fainter as her chest solidified. Her reaching hands froze mid-air, permanently grasping for mercy that wouldn't come. Within seconds, Beatrice Okafor was no longer a woman. She was a stone statue, perfectly preserved in her moment of terror, mouth open in eternal scream, eyes wide with horror, hands clawing at air that had become her prison. Let your form match your heart, Uhamiri said quietly. Let all who pass remember. Cruelty turns the cruel to stone. The goddess vanished like mist under sun. By sunrise, the village discovered Beatrice's stone form by the river. The news exploded through Umuahia like wildfire through dry grass. Chineke, come and see. Is that not Beatrice? The woman Don-turned statue. Kai, God is not asleep, oh. Chief Okafor returned from his travels that afternoon to find his compound in chaos. His daughters wept more from fear than grief. And Emily? Emily stood quietly, her radiance now impossible to ignore, her dignity intact. What happened? The chief demanded. The story poured out from 20 mouths at once. How he'd been blind to his wife's cruelty, how Emily had suffered, how a goddess had judged and found Beatrice wanting. Chief Okafor wept, begging Emily's forgiveness. I was a fool, travelling, chasing money, while my daughter suffered. Forgive me. Ne em. Papa, I forgive you, Emily said simply. Because that's what kindness does, it forgives. That evening, Prince Chiamaka arrived with his entourage. One look at Emily, and the prince who'd sworn he'd never marry felt his heart do something it had never done before, recognize its home. I am Chiamaka of the Eastern Kingdom, he said, bowing slightly. I came seeking a miracle. I found something more, a woman whose inner beauty shines brighter than any external blessing. Their courtship was swift, their marriage magnificent. Emily became a princess, then a queen known throughout the land for her kindness, wisdom, and the diamonds that still appeared whenever she drew water, diamonds she used to help the poor, feed the hungry, and build schools for girls who, like her, had no mothers. Beatrice's stone form remained by Mimirinquo as a warning. Mothers brought their children. See what happens to wicked hearts? Be kind, always be kind. And in the palace, Queen Emily would tell her own children the story of the goddess at the river, teaching them what her mother had taught her. Kindness is never wasted. Even if you suffer, even if others mock you, even if the reward seems far away, stay kind. Because in the end, character is destiny, and the universe always balances its scales. The water still turns to diamonds in her hands. But the greatest treasure was always her heart, unchanged by hardship, unspoiled by blessing, forever kind. Moral lesson. True kindness flows from a pure heart that gives without expecting reward, while cruelty and greed ultimately transform the wicked into monuments of their own hard-heartedness. The universe rewards genuine compassion and punishes calculated wickedness, teaching us that our character determines our destiny far more than our circumstances ever could.